Stay tuned for the HCC Board of Trustee meetings today at 4 p.m.
This regular meeting will now come to order on November 20th, 2024 at 4:05 p.m. This meeting was called for the purpose as listed on the duly posted meeting notice. At this time, please join Trustee Charlene Johnson for the prayer, followed by the pledge. If you can please stand. Bow your head if you feel led. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to come today to serve. We pray that you guide us as we continue to lift up the college. Please continue to cover our chancellor, protect her from any weapons that may form, that they shall not prosper. Father God, we ask you to be with our staff today, to continue to be with them, give them godly wisdom and the strength that they need, and any tools that they may need to make this college even better. And we pray for our students. We pray for our students to continue to grow and learn, and let this be a place of refuge, a place of learning, so they continue to make better lives and better decisions for their future. And lastly, Lord, I ask you to be with the board as we continue to come together and work together. Let us do this as a purpose to serve the community and not to serve ourselves. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We're now ready to approve the minutes from the Academic and Student Affairs, Audit, Board Governance, Committee of the Whole, Marketing, and Special meetings on October 2nd, 2024, regular and special meetings on October 16th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for October 2024?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved in second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If there are no corrections, we're now ready to vote on the approval of the minutes for October 2024.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 8-0.
We will now move to our awards, presentations, and recognition. Todd Duplantis will introduce the awards, presentations, and recognitions.
Good afternoon. At this time, we'd like to invite James Carnes and Dr. Christine Robinson to join the trustees and chancellor. James Carnes with the U.S. Department of Labor to the podium to recognize Houston Community College selection as a U.S. DOL Apprenticeship Ambassador. Mr. Carnes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy National Apprenticeship Week. I am absolutely elated to make this presentation today because the folks in here made it possible. Obviously, I wouldn't print 80 or 100 certificates, but I would like to make the award to two of the key members. Dr. Ford Fisher, will you be able to join us as well? I believe the letter from our national administrator has been shared, or it is public, and you would be able to actually see more of the significance of this award. I believe that this is the only community college in this state that has received this award during this selection. And this is because of the leadership and the support provided here from the trustee and the board and the folks that you have hired, the staff that's here. Everybody from the bottom to the top. Dr. Robinson's team has been instrumental as well. So with that said, I'll let you get on with your meeting. I just wanted to bring up one other thing. The governor also issued a proclamation from the state as well, and it'll remain here for you to read as well. And so, the United States Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship Ambassador Certificate of Recognition. This is to certify Houston Community College has received recognition from the Department of Labor as an apprenticeship ambassador committed to modernizing, diversifying, and expanding registered apprenticeship to support the success of the American workers, employees, and communities across the country. Given under our hand, John Ladd, Office of Apprenticeship. What this really means is that there's even a greater capacity of not just providing instruction. As you know, many of you know that there are apprenticeship sponsors. But now you're actually be a voice for other community colleges and advocates for the community at large. So I expect to see more resources coming down as well to give you more tools to continue the great work that you're doing right now. Thank you.
Congratulations once again to Dr. Ford Fisher, Dr. Robinson, and her staff, and thank you, Mr. Carnes, for joining us today to present this recognition. Trustees and Chancellor, you may now return to the dais. If we could, they'd like to take one more picture. Can we get one more picture? Dr. Robinson would like to recognize her apprenticeship team as well. Dr. Webster? Yeah.
All right. Ready? All right, everybody look right here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
And of course, if you didn't know, they just wanted me to mention that they had their 3rd annual apprenticeship summit today at the West Houston Institute. Today was day 2.
Yep.
All right, International Men's Day was observed on Tuesday, November 19th. At this time, we'd now like to invite Dr. Nithi Sivantanathan, Director, International Services and Programs, to the podium to provide an overview in observance of International Men's Day. Nithi?
Thank you, Doc. Greetings, Chancellor, members of the Board of Trustees, Senior Vice Chancellors, Presidents, Vice Chancellors, and all those who are present here. I'm here to share and celebrate the importance of International Men's Day. This is a vision from our Chancellor to highlight the importance of International Men's Day. So the theme for 2024 is positive male role models. Why we are celebrating this? Because we want to make sure and recognize positive contributions men make to the world, their families, and their communities. It spotlights positive role models and raise awareness about men's well-being. Together, we can shape exemplary men and women who inspire others. The objective, this event is celebrated all over the world. The reason is to ensure the health of men, boys, strengthen gender relations, promote gender equality, and showcase positive male role models. It serves as an opportunity for men to address discrimination they may face and to celebrate their achievement and contribution in communities, workplace, families, friendship, marriages, and childcare. So here are some of the challenges. Men have a suicide rate 3 times higher than women. Men on average have a life expectancy 4 to 5% years shorter than women. Men are nearly twice as likely to suffer from heart diseases as women. So to celebrate this day, we have 3 people I have chosen to share a very important message on this day.
Houston Community College is pleased to join with the International Men's Day to celebrate the important contributions made by men to HCC, our community, and the world. In a world that desperately needs positive role models for the next generation, we express our appreciation to those men who, by their character and compassion, set the tone for prosperous relationships in the home, the classroom, and the campus. These are troubling times for many men around the world who face parental alienation, abuse, homelessness, suicide, and violence. The International Men's Day, celebrated by more than 80 nations, gives us all an opportunity to pause and appreciate the positive contributions and achievements of men while addressing important issues affecting men's health and well-being. The theme of International Men's Day this year is positive role models. Today, we shine a spotlight on men around the globe who teach the boys in their lives the values, character, and responsibilities of being a man. So on this day, male role models are invited to set examples of health and integrity for young men. And may we all, men and women, appreciate the talents, contributions, and perspectives of one another, and learn to express our sincere respect to all who exemplify these high standards of living. On this International Men's Day, we say thank you to the men who enrich our lives and inspire us every day. Thank you from all of us at Houston Community College.
On November 19th, International Men's Day celebrates worldwide the positive value men bring to the world, their families, and communities. It is a day to highlight positive role models and raise awareness of men's well-being. Key activities associated with International Men's Day include promoting men's health, advocating for gender equality for men and women, supporting positive masculinity and role models of such, engaging in mentorship to support boys and young men, and recognizing achievements that lead to a broader understanding of positive male contributions. I am pleased and honored to take part in this year's activities at HCC. The theme of this year's day focuses on positive male role models. Central to creating positive role models is the health and well-being of men. The facts are staggering. The suicide rate among males in 2022 was approximately 4 times higher than the rate among females. Males make up 50% of the population, but nearly 80% of suicides. Life expectancy for males is 74.8 years in the U.S. compared to 80.2 years for females. And education plays a key factor in health and well-being. Yet nationally, the college graduation rate for women, 67.9%, is more than 6 percentage points higher than men at 61%. Additionally, when we look at incarceration, there are about 90,000 female prisoners under the jurisdiction of state or federal correctional authorities in the United States as of December 2022. By comparison, 1.1 million men were imprisoned at the same time. In order to improve these statistics, efforts like International Men's Day provide opportunities to raise awareness of issues facing men's health and well-being, and at the same time highlight positive male role models that in humility, value all lives, lead with integrity, and strengthen the community. So often in the media these days, we see more examples of humans acting in inhumane ways, and not enough celebration of the opposite, and yet examples surely abound. On this International Men's Day, let's seek out those who exemplify key virtues such as humility, integrity, generosity, kindness, and the like. Thank you.
My name is Alberto Urbina, and I serve as the Vice President of Instruction and Student Services at HCC Southeast. Today, I stand before you as a proud first-generation college graduate and the father of two incredible daughters. It's a privilege to speak on the theme of positive male role models, a topic that resonates deeply with me as I navigate the challenges and joys of parenthood. Growing up, I often wondered about the qualities that define a true role model. For many, role models are athletes, celebrities, or historical figures. However, I've come to realize that the most impactful role models are often those who are closest to us, our fathers, brothers, mentors, and friends. They shape our beliefs, influence our decisions, and inspire us to become better versions of ourselves. As a father of two girls, I feel the weight of responsibility to be that positive male role model in their lives. I want them to see that kindness, respect, and integrity are not just words, but actions that define who we are. I strive to show them that strength is not just in physical prowess, but in vulnerability, empathy, and the courage to stand up for what is right. One of the greatest gifts we can give to the next generation is the understanding that they can pursue their dreams without limitations. By being present, listening to their concerns, and encouraging them to reach for the stars, I hope to instill in them the belief that they can achieve anything. I want them to grow up knowing that their worth isn't dictated by societal norms, but by their own passions and inspirations. We must also recognize that positive male role models come in many forms. They are teachers who inspire curiosity, coaches who teach teamwork and resilience, and community leaders who advocate for change. Each one of us has the potential to be a role model, regardless of our background, our experience. So let us commit to being that beacon of positivity for the young people in our lives. Let us show them the importance of lifting each other up. Thank you.
Well, friends, that's the message that we got from our three great leaders in our institution. With that, I'd like to conclude. Together, let's join hands to create and uplift millions of positive role models for our girls, boys, men, women, mothers, fathers, grandparents. Let's celebrate the impactful contribution men make to Houston Community College, our families, communities, and around the world. Thank you.
At this time, we pause for recognition of Native American Heritage Month, which is celebrated from November 1st through November 30th. We now invite Dr. Andres Baget to the podium to provide a presentation in recognition of Native American Heritage Month.
Good afternoon, Board Chair Dr. Lyndon Gary, and trustee members, Chancellor Ford Fisher, members of the Chancellor's Executive Cabinet, faculty, staff, community members in attendance, and those online. I will begin today's recognition with land acknowledgement. I am Dr. Antrese Badget from Jackson, Mississippi. I relocated to Houston to study music, history, political science, and geography at Texas Southern University. Today, I stand before you as a historian and a professor of humanities. I would like to acknowledge the traditional, ancestral, unsucceeded territory of the Rakanakawa, the Atakapa, and the Akosipa people, who we are learning, working, and organizing today. We honor their history, culture, and contributions to this land. Today, land acknowledgements are used to recognize indigenous people who are the original stewards of the land on which we live. It is a way of showing respect and a step toward correcting the stories, practices that have erased indigenous people's histories and their culture. Now, in 1987, President Ronald Reagan issued the first proclamation for National Native American History Week. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed a joint resolution which the U.S. officially began to acknowledge Native American History Month. This year's theme, as you can see on the screen, is Be the Source for Better Health, improving American Indian and Alaska health outcomes through our cultures, communities, and connections. By exploring and navigating indigenous history, we learn, embrace, and understand their unique experiences. As educators and leaders in our Houston area communities, we transform the lives of students and those we come in contact with. Indigenous spirituality involves a deep and rich connection to nature. For example, number one, all living things possess a spirit which creates a deep sense of kinship with the environment. Number two, the Great Spirit is present in all aspects of our lives. That's land, water, sky, and vegetation. Number three, oral transitions and traditions, stories, and teachings are passed down through generations by the elders. Number four, an individual sense of belonging and responsibility are interwoven in the welfare of the nation. And finally, gratitude and reciprocity are definitely core values of beliefs and value systems. This slide highlights challenges, stereotypes, and myths that indigenous people face. They do not, number one, they do not easily receive free college, they pay taxes, and they do not approve of organizations naming their teams and mascots after indigenous communities. Another challenge is acknowledging Black Indians are indigenous offspring of biracial relationships and communities. If this presentation has sparked any interest with you, consider doing these two things. Number one, learn the truth about Columbus Day and Thanksgiving. And number two, reach out to our Houston Community College History, Humanities, and English departments, where we have faculty who infuse indigenous materials in their curriculums. Also, if this presentation has piqued any interest, at this point, pull out your phones or electronic devices, take a photo of the screen. It has resources that will definitely broaden your knowledge base. And in closing, we, Those of us who infuse this information in our curriculum hope that you have gained a new perspective of Indigenous heritage and Native American History Month. This is real-world experience that creates a true sense of belonging. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you both for your presentations. Madam Chair, this concludes the awards, presentations, and recognitions.
Thank you, Todd. We now open the floor for trustees to provide information regarding activities in their respective districts, an overview from conferences or workshops attended, or to recognize individuals for outstanding contributions in their community that promote education and community service. We ask trustees to limit their respective comments to no more than 2 minutes. Trustee Cheban.
Good evening, everybody. I wanted to congratulate and thank Dr. Webster and his team at the West Loop campus for a very successful commitment day with the AI and Robotics Baccalaureate degree, and commend them for their kind of on-the-spot leadership with connecting those students that did commit with an on-the-spot scholarship for the next semester. So kudos to that team. I know a lot of preparation went into that commitment day, and thanks for that. Thanks for making that event extra meaningful for those students by connecting them with some financial resources.
Any other trustees?
Yes. I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone, Chancellor, to you and to all of your staff for everything you do, the hard work that takes place every day here at Houston Community College. Thank you. For Southeast College, they received congratulations, the Houston Easton Chamber of Commerce Good Neighbor Award. So Dr. Villagrán Glover, is she here? Congratulations to you. Also, the unveiling of a mural at Southeast Campus. The Chancellor was there, Trustee Laredo. A beautiful mural of the Felix and Angela Morales couple that the building is named after. And our student, Mark De Leon, did a beautiful job of capturing their legacy in this mural, so it was beautiful. As well, wanted to congratulate the Southeast College for the robotics competition that took place last weekend. It was pretty awesome, Chancellor. There were over 20 teams, and many of the schools that we're all familiar with were there competing. So great job as well to the Southeast College and to Central Campus as well for everything that you guys do. So thank you.
Great. Trustee Wilson.
I had the opportunity to attend the Batichek-Orman auction, and I made an incredibly great purchase of this hat and donation. So it was well attended. It was a good deal. Also, this morning I attended the National Apprenticeship Week, and it was refreshing to see all the kids that showed up, that they bussed in to attend that today. I think it was a 3 or 4 day conference, and today it looks like it's going to be something in the future that we need to really work more with in that and expand on that. Thank you.
Trustee Douglas Stallworth.
I have to echo my trustees' sentiments about urban STEM. Dr. Tamez, there were somewhere between 200 and 300 kids and over 40 parents that were there. So Dr. Villagrán Glover, you have been hosting these now. This is your second year. So thank you very much for that. It was amazing. This has been Super Geek Week. And I am a super geek, so I was very excited for the urban STEM robotics. I was there almost 3 hours in the afternoon. But that morning, Congressman Green hosted the Congressional App Challenge, and there were 8 finalists, only 1 female, and she won. So we want to say thank you to her, because when you stand in a room full of guys and you're a super geek, it kind of don't take you seriously. Her name is Tanya Mahesh, and she created an app for her grandfather because he had Parkinson's disease. And she wanted to monitor the increasing tremors. And so she wrote an app to actually do that. The youngest person was 11. And he wrote an app to track the repetitive genome sequences in your DNA. Brilliant kid. These young people were amazing. So from age 11 to 18. So congratulations to all of them. Now Tanya gets to go to Washington, D.C. If she wins from the others in the nation, her app will be posted on the congressional website. So we want to say thank you to them and thank you to their parents, because you have to buy computers and a bunch of stuff, and mothers have to give up their shoe money. Mothers have to give up their shoe money. But I want to say thank you, Andres Lopez, the TIEU Global Hackathon, one of the 8 finalists from HCC. This is amazing because he and a University of Houston student are going to be competing at the Global Hackathon in Bangalore, India. And I want to say thank you to, where is Dr. Ravi Bambrat? Is he here today? Thank you to him, because he takes a lot of time with these young, brilliant people who are doing amazing things in computer science. So best of luck to Andres Lopez. We hope that he wins. This is huge, because I think our community college is the only community college in the finals. So this is spectacular. This is definitely a feather in the cap of Houston Community College in the computer science division. So thank you all. Thank them, thank Congressman Green, because this Congressional App Challenge has now spurred him to have another computer programming challenge in the spring. And we want to make sure that all of our high school students in our districts compete. So thank you.
Any other trustees?
Sure, I'll just add a couple. For Coleman College, last month we had the ribbon cutting here. Dr. Tamez for Coleman College headquarters. So that did occur. And then last week we had our commitment day for those students in our Bachelor of Applied Science program in healthcare management. So it's really some awesome developments going on at Coleman. So thank you, Dr. Harrison.
You know, I attend so many of the events that our college has, that half of my, I can't even tell you, because I try to make sure I'm at each one, because I want to make sure that the students know, the administration, the faculty and staff knows that I'm a true supporter and I'm sincere when I say I love HCC. And I was there when Trustee Wilson said he was going to purchase the hat, but I didn't believe him. But I'm really impressed, because you know, I'm a boot girl and I wear the hats, and I was impressed to see him with a hat. And where I go, Trustee Ward Johnson, I'm going to miss her, because it's like that's my ride or die when we go to these events, you know, because I don't like going by myself. I don't like being alone in the evenings. But my point for saying all this is that everything the trustees have said up here is proof that we are doing what we need to do for this institution and for our students and our communities. And I applaud you. So, any other comments, trustees? Okay, Trustee Laredo.
I also wanted to thank the presidents for all their hard work that they're doing out in the communities, recruiting and bringing students in. And I was out at several events throughout the month. And it's always great to see us giving literature to everyone and encouraging everyone to come to college, to HCC, because we do have the best here. And also I went to a naming of a post office, Benny Martinez, out in the southeast part of town, and parades and events. And, you know, they say when you're running for office, you you hug and kiss babies. No, there was a lot of senior veterans out there that wanted hugs too. So thank you for all that y'all did, also for remembering our veterans and the activities that y'all had for Veterans Day. It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, I forgot that our Worthing Early College High School was honored by the mayor on yesterday for their football team being undefeated, and their second playoff game will be this Thursday evening. So Mayor Whitmire honored them. That was really nice. And our former chair, Carolyn Evans Shabazz, who is District D councilwoman, organized it. So thank you to her.
All right. It's been great, hasn't it? It has been great. Okay. The following meetings are scheduled for December. December 4th will be the committee meetings. Committee of the whole meeting would be at 4 p.m. December 18th, special meeting, which will be a board workshop. And also on December 18th, we will have our regular meeting at 4 p.m. The meetings will be held at the HCC Administrative Building, 3100 Main Street, and will be posted according to the Open Meetings Act requirement. This concludes the chairman's report. We will now hear from Dr. Ford Fisher with the chancellor's report.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. I would like to thank you all for your support. And of course, also the faculty and staff members for their hard work throughout the communities. And as was referenced earlier with the Apprenticeship Summit, the work was really incredible that I witnessed as well on day one of the summit. And so I thank Dr. Christina Robinson and certainly the United States Department of Labor that was present there, Mr. Carnes, Mr. Price, and other members of their team. One of the things that they said that was very encouraging was about additional apprenticeships and how they are eager to partner with us. And so we would like to thank the United States Department of Labor for this awesome recognition as Apprenticeship Ambassador Certificate of Recognition. And they indicated that this is special and that there are few institutions that have this recognition and this award. So thank you all so very, very much for the hard work that you're doing and to the board for your support. Madam Chair and members of the board, I'm absolutely delighted to share some updates, and I am pleased to provide another positive enrollment update. With fall enrollment ongoing, HCC is up by 8%. HCC total enrollment comparison, spring 2024 versus spring 2025. Additionally, our spring enrollment is up by 18%. And then, of course, with the Cynthia Farrell Pathways Star of Excellence Award, last week I had the privilege of joining several team members at the Talent Strong Texas Pathways Institute for a highly engaging meeting. The theme of this year's institute was keeping students on their right pathway. I am excited to share that while at the meeting, one of our very own, Dr. Betty Fortune, Associate Vice Chancellor of Student Retention and Completion, was honored with the Cynthia Farrell Pathway Star of Excellence Award for the large community colleges, and there were only three, one for small, one for medium, and one for large. And HCC This prestigious award recognizes a change agent who has made a significant impact in breaking down barriers to student success and elevating the overall student experience at the college. So I would like to ask Dr. Fortune to please stand to be recognized for your outstanding contributions to Houston Community College, to please come to the front. The board members will stand, you in front of the dais, and then, of course, with Mr. Jorge to please come forward and take a picture, please, for our celebration. Thank you so much, Dr. Fortune.
Just want us to stand in place, please.
And we can stand here, please.
I won't write you.
Please, one more. Dr. Perez, who is the Senior Vice Chancellor for Instruction and Student Services, to whom Dr. Fortune reports, please come forward and be a part of this celebration as well, this celebration of success.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. So, key leadership appointment. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Sherry Hahn, Senior Vice Chancellor of Administration and Finance and Chief Financial Business Officer for HCC. Dr. Hahn comes to HCC with nearly 30 years of experience spanning private industry, public K through 12 education, and higher education. Dr. Hahn joins us from the University of Houston Clear Lake. She is a certified public accountant, CPA, and a tax attorney, holding multiple master's degrees in education and business administration, as well as an LLM in law. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Hahn, Dr. Sherry Hahn, and she will make brief remarks. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, trustees, Chancellor Ford Fisher. I'm so honored to be accepted into this position. It's a dream job of mine, being in this role. I look forward to being an honest, forward-thinking steward for all of the resources of the university, supporting student success, and being a first-generation role model. I'm looking forward to the work. Can't wait to get started. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We are delighted. And so Commitment Day has been mentioned. On November 13th, Commitment Day ceremonies were held to honor the dedication of our students pursuing baccalaureate degrees in artificial intelligence and robotics and healthcare management. These ceremonies served as a significant moment to celebrate the students' commitment to their chosen fields. I would like to also, as was stated by the trustees for those districts, to thank Dr. Latricia Harrison, President of Coleman College of Health Sciences, and Dr. Michael Webster, President of Southwest College, for their leadership. Thank you. International student visit to HCC on November the 12th. 30 students from Mexico visited HCC for a tour of our state-of-the-art COEs of engineering and digital and information technology. The students were guided through various academic and student support areas where they gained a first-hand look at the innovative learning environments, technological resources, and specialized programs available at HCC. There is significant interest in exploring more opportunities for academic exchanges, including HCC's Summer Bridge program, which could become a vital link for international students. So we're looking forward to that partnership. Now, at this time, I would like to invite the 2024-25 United Student Council President, Mr. Jonah Garcia, to the podium to present the USC report. Mr. Garcia.
Thank you for your warm introduction, Madam Chancellor. Good evening, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, Madam Chancellor Ford Fisher, and respective faculty and staff. My name is Jonah Garcia, and I serve as the President of the United Student Council. I am excited to share what my fellow officers and I did during the month of October and upcoming events for November. Today, I will be speaking on the following items, such as student retention improvement feedback, the Jesse H. Jones Luncheon Awards, the ASGA Conference Dallas, the TJCSGA Region 5 Conference, and the Financial Literacy Event. For the first order of business, on October the 18th, we held our second USC General Assembly. The USC invited a guest speaker, Associate Dean Sonia Scott King, to give a presentation on how to improve student retention. This was a great opportunity for students to ask questions and give feedback on behalf of the student body. During the presentation, students in attendance had the opportunity to express their experiences at their respective colleges and how the experience can be improved. At the end of the presentation, my fellow USC officers and I took the initiative to share the feedback form to other students across the district. For the second order of business, on October the 25th, my fellow officers and I were invited to attend the annual Jesse H. Jones Luncheon Award Ceremony by our wonderful interim Vice Chancellor of Student Services, Dr. Rima Adil, in support of our HCC Chancellor, Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher, who received the Global Education and Institutional Award. And I want to thank Chancellor Ford Fisher for recognizing us during her acceptance speech. For the third order of business, my USC and SGA fellow officers had the great opportunity to attend the American Student Government Association, also known as ASGA, for our annual training conference held in Dallas, Texas on November the 8th and the 9th. We learned new skills and resources, such as how to grow as student leaders and improve our student government and networking. One of my favorite things about attending the ASCA conference was the workshops that we attended, such as marketing strategy and boost turnout at events. I had the great opportunity to connect and build new relationships with fellow officers across the state and nationwide, and to grow as a student leader like myself. For the fourth order of business, on November the 15th, the USC and the SGA officers and I traveled to the College of the Mainland for the Texas Junior College Student Government Association, also known as TJCSGA, the Region 5 Fall Conference. We had colleges from across our region, such as Brussels Ports, Lone Star, and San Jacinto College, and College of the Mainland. Student Life Coordinator Carl Mace was the keynote speaker, and the conference consisted of 3 breakout workshop sessions and a general assembly. And I want to thank the HCC colleges who proudly serves as the Region 5 schools, such as the HCC Southeast, which serves the President's School, the Northeast, which serves as a Secretary School, and the Northwest, which serves as a Treasurer School, for doing a fantastic job in conducting the Region 5 conference, and for their hard work and time and dedication in making the conference a success. For the last order of business, the next USC General Assembly will be on November the 22nd at 2:30. My fellow USC officers and I are currently in the process of having a presentation on financial literacy event presented by Ms. Janice Wellwright Griffith. She will speak about the finance, budgeting, FAFSA disbursement, and wealth management during and after the holidays. And learning about the financial literacy will be great benefit for our students. This concludes my report this concludes the United Student Council report for November. Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, Madam Chancellor Ford Fisher, we thank you for your support and for inspiring us to be better leaders every day. And I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. And also, being the president of the United Student Council has been a great challenge and a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader. Thank you. And I yield the floor back to you, Madam Chair.
You've done a great job. As always, excellent job, Mr. Garcia. And of course, happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to you and your family as well. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you.
Excellent report. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Dr. Nathan Smith to present on behalf of our Faculty Senate President to the podium to present the Faculty Senate report. Incoming Faculty Senate President.
for the next year.
Thank you, Chancellor Ford Fisher. Thank you, Board of Trustees and Trustee Chair. My name is Nathan Smith. I am the Faculty Senate President-elect, and I'm standing in for President Butte Hainaloma, who's away at a conference this week. So I wanted to bring a couple of events to your attention. On November 1st, as we heard from Trustee Wilson, we held the annual Faculty Senate Bedichek-Orman auction. Thank you to those of you who were able to attend. We really enjoyed seeing you there. As well, I want to extend a special thank you to Trustee Chair Linton Gary, as well as Chancellor Ford Fisher for your remarks. We had a fun, festive, and productive evening. We raised over $22,000. We estimate a net of around $17,000 to go into the fund. We continue to try to expand the use of these funds to support faculty professional development, as well as our adjunct faculty emergency grants, and at the same time trying to be good stewards to that fund so that it continues to serve us going forward. The second item, of course, happened that evening. We were able to recognize 3 faculty for their Teaching Excellence Awards. So I'd like to call out their names now. That's Daniel Joaquin from Chemistry, Brian Evans from Geography, and Catherine Rangel from Culinary and Pastry Arts. These faculty were selected from among many that were nominated by the students. I also wanted to bring to your attention an item from our November 8th meeting. The Faculty Senate voted to affirm its Faculty Bill of Rights, which was adopted in March 2022. The faculty affirm their rights to the following: academic freedom, the exercise of the First Amendment, intellectual property, civility, procedural fairness, and the right to dissent. I understand that the assertion of rights is sometimes necessary, but I also understand that it is sometimes contentious. It's worth reflecting on why that might be the case, both for those who assert their rights and for those to whom those rights are asserted. I understand there are reasons for this, and these things I think there are many why these things are contentious and complicated. They are worthy of reflection. That said, and in that spirit, I believe that these rights are in a sense an enumeration of our guiding principle of shared governance. And in that vein, I want to reaffirm what I see to be the emphasis of the Faculty Senate. We remain a strong voice of the faculty, but we aim to exercise that voice in a spirit of collaboration and partnership with the administration and with the trustees, because together we share the same goal. And if we work in a spirit of mutual respect and partnership, I believe we will succeed in that goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Smith, and congratulations on becoming President-elect. Very good. And so at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Aaron Henry, President of the Staff Senate, to the podium to present the Staff Senate report, please.
Thank you, Chancellor, Chair, Board of Trustees, and all that are assembled. Thank you for this opportunity to share updates from our staff through our Staff Senate. First, I'd like to thank all of our trustees for your service to the institution. We have some exciting things that are going on. One that I want to share with you that includes our fundraising campaign that is underway with our goal of raising $6,000 by, I believe it's the end of this year, for emergency funds for staff members who are under adverse conditions. And so we're asking all that are willing to donate $19.71 through the HCC Foundation for this campaign. As of today, I believe we have raised about $1,400. I think we've been underway for about 14 days. And so we're really excited about the individuals who've contributed thus far. And so we're asking all who are assembled here today, let's see if we can make our goal as of today. We're also excited to have participated last week with the Texas Pathways work that the Chancellor has mentioned. And some of the things that I shared with the Senate that we're working on, working through our communication challenges at the institution and creating the ultimate student experience, which is really exciting for me, and the staff are really eager to join into that work. So thanks to Dr. Fortune and Dr. Perez and others who are joining the staff in that work. Also, one of the committees that I wanted to highlight and share with you that, again, that I think is really incredible is led by Mr. Kreitz out of the online college, the Student Success Committee. That group is working on focusing on the retention piece of the work, bringing our students back who stop out. And they're really eager about figuring out ways to make sure that our students who enroll return each and every semester. And then lastly, I want to share with you that beginning in the month of January, the Staff Senate will begin recognizing through an Employee of the Month presentation where we will recognize an employee from one of the colleges in regards to their great work that has been done at the institution. Thank you so much.
Yes. Really good. Thank you very much, President Henry. Great initiative. Thank you so much. And so at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Butch Harrod, President of Central College, to the podium to highlight credentials of value in student success at Central College. Dr. Harrod.
Madam Chancellor, Madam Chair, members of the board, faculty and faculty and staff, and friends and family. I have the distinct privilege today of introducing one of our students seeking a credential of value with our college. Earlier this month, we celebrated Veterans Day to honor our veterans for their service to our nation. After leaving the military, some of our veterans decide they want to pursue a career that may be different from their military service. Today, we have one such example of that with one of our students, U.S. Army veteran Nicholas Granado. Mr. Granado retired after 20 years of distinguished service and chose Houston Community College as the place to take the next step in his career journey. Given his previous experience in law enforcement and security in the military, he found a perfect example, or perfect match, I should say, in the HCC Smart Building Technology Program. This program, which commenced its inaugural class this semester, currently has 10 students, but has already garnered interest and commitment from 30 additional new students in the spring. And further growth is definitely expected in this program. Recognition should also be made of the great work that is being done by the program administrator and developer, faculty member Walter Matt Adams, who is himself a veteran. Indeed, Mr. Granado credits Matt for joining the program and taking the next steps, and I think that's one of his children, and the next step in his career journey. Here is his story.
After 20 years of serving our great country, I started looking for what school to go to, and all the schools I was calling or all the places for training, Mr. Adams was one of the only ones to answer, and he also spoke very passionately about his program. I told him I was interested in the electrical field, and then he also was informing me of this new class that he had going on, and he spoke so passionately about it that it kind of captivated me into joining the program, the smart home technology. Now, I chose smart building technology, one, because of the passion of the instructor, but also he informed me of how it would closely relate to my military occupational specialty as a military policeman, law enforcement in specific. So from a security standpoint, being able to apply security cameras as well as other low voltage technology into the house, they would provide comfort for families and for our long-termers that are out there. They would help provide security for them in their homes as well as other residences. The classes, all the instructors have been great. I've enjoyed all of them, and I'm enjoying learning something new. By no means did I know everything about the Army, but learning something completely outside of my field has been very interesting. And there's something about electricity that's always interested me, and now the more I learn, the more cautious I've become dealing with electricity. Classrooms, I'm very impressed with all the campuses. They were easy to get to, and all the classrooms seem new. They're all well organized and cleanly, and everybody seems very friendly since I've been here. Upon graduation, definitely going to pursue something in this field or this occupation that I can use my security background as well as applying the skills that I've learned throughout this course. So getting a job that's going to be compliant with my family life, because my Catholic faith and my family are the two most important things in my life. So spending all my time with my wife and my 3 children is going to be the standpoint of which job I decide to pick after this. HCC has provided me that opportunity to do something more with my life. I know that, thankful for the Army and for our country and everything I was able to accomplish, but HCC has now provided me new opportunities to move forward and to explore new options. And it's also going to provide me an opportunity to be a good example for my children. And HCC has made the process very, very easy. And nobody here that I've met wants you to fail. Everybody's here supporting you to win.
So, Mr. Granado and your family, if you could come forward, Dr. Harrod and your staff who have worked with the Smart Building Program, to please come forward. We'd like to get a photo of you in front of the dais here with the board members standing behind you. Please come forward. Congratulations to you. Our future HCC students are coming forward too. Congratulations to you. Wonderful.
Yeah, no, you're kind of tall over there. No, stay straight, stay straight.
That's right.
Make sure you guys can see me that way.
Okay.
You're fine.
My face. Hide my body.
Good-looking family.
It certainly is. Congratulations. Thank you so very, very much, and congratulations. And thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, for giving us this opportunity. And Madam Chair, this now concludes my report.
Before we move to hearing of the citizens, Trustee Davies would like to make a comment.
Yeah, Dr. Harrod, thanks for the presentation. If you would stand, as well as Dr. Andrea Burridge, Bob McCracken. I don't see Terry Corrigan here. Don't worry, they're not in trouble. I don't have that kind of power. I just want to acknowledge I failed to mention during the district report, our HCC team did a fantastic job at the ACCT Leadership Congress in Seattle last month. It felt like 3 months ago, so I couldn't picture where it was. I thought we talked about that. The presentation on risk management in front of a national audience was very well received. I just wanted to publicly congratulate and acknowledge the outstanding job you did representing our institution. Thank you.
And I ditto what Trustee Davies said, and I just want to add that Trustee Venable Stallworth was also a part of that presentation. So we thank you for the input that you had as well. And at that conference, I was also a presenter, and I'm like Trustee Davies. It seemed like it was so long ago, but it was just last month. But I was a presenter, and it went very well, and I was really happy to have the opportunity to present at the conference. And then after the fact, I was actually asked to come and speak at some community colleges. And it made me feel good because, like I say, when people make good comments about HCC, because when they give me a compliment, I feel like they compliment HCC. So I'm like, oh man, HCC really is shining, not just in Texas, but in Seattle as well. So
I thank you guys for your presentation. I thank you, Trustee Venable Stallworth, and to the trustees who attended, Trustee Cheevan, Trustee Davies, and Trustee Laredo, and also Blake Johnson was there as well. So we had very good attendance. It was a very good conference. So with that being said, thanks again, and we're going to move on to hearing of the citizens. A citizen desiring to appear before the Board of Trustees shall complete the application for hearing 24 hours prior to the meeting and file said application with the Board Services Office. Time allotted to each citizen or organization shall be limited to 4 minutes. The board may not stop any speaker who makes, I apologize for that, the board may stop any speaker who makes complaints against a special trustee or employee, or comments about the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a specific employee, and may require the speaker to resume his or her comments in closed session as permitted under the personnel exception of the Open Meetings Act. The following person has signed up to appear before the board. Is Mr. Scott Porschke present this evening? Okay. Well, with that being said, we have no one present to appear to speak before the board. We are now ready to consider the consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent agenda?
I'd like to request item 6 be considered separately.
Item 6. The following item will be considered separately. 6B will be pulled to be considered separately. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
It has been moved and second. We will now consider item 6. I'm sorry, we will now vote. We will now vote on items 1 through 5.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed unanimously.
Okay. We will now consider item 6. So now there's a discussion on item 6. You need a motion?
So moved.
Second? It has been moved and second. Now it's open for discussion. The Chancellor will present item 6.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented to the board for your acceptance of the investment report, financial statement, and budget review for the month of September 2024. And with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. Jacob Atkins, Interim Vice Chancellor of Finance, to come to the podium and provide an overview and answer questions. Mr. Atkins, thank you.
So we presented in the Committee of the Whole the review of the financial statements for September. Would you like me to review that presentation again or simply answer questions?
Just a minor question. The Fed met and they reduced rates 50 basis points last time. The discussion has shifted perhaps since that, given the jobs report and inflation report. Are there any reactions to that at this point?
So we are taking that into consideration as we consider estimates for FY26 budgeting purposes. In terms of our investments, we have not taken any action on that as of today.
All right, that's my main question. The other thing is just I want to publicly thank you, Mr. Atkin, for stepping up and serving in this role. I figured this might be the last hurrah, so I just wanted to publicly acknowledge the work that you've put in helping us, at least this new trustee, better get a good grasp on the financials of this institution. So this is an opportunity to thank you. So it's no big deal on the agenda item, but needed to call you up.
So much.
now ready to vote on item 6.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0. Excuse me for that.
Before we go any further, I just want to say that item G, review of the level 4 complaint, employee 1 has been pulled and will be considered at our December meeting. We will now move to item A, approval of resolution casting a vote for appointment of Harris Central Appraisal District Board of Directors.
So moved. Oh, sorry.
Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented for your consideration of approval for resolution casting a vote for appointment of Harris Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. Each governing body that casts its votes for one or more of the candidates must formally adopt a resolution naming the person or persons for whom it votes, the number of votes cast for each person selected, and submit a certified copy to the chief appraiser. The vote must be by resolution. So with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. Jacob Ackley, Interim Vice Chancellor of Finance, to come to the podium to provide any additional details requested and respond to questions. Mr. Ackley.
Thank you. Unlike last year, where the board had one vote to cast, this year we've been allocated 100 votes. As a board, you may allocate those 100 votes in whatever manner you'd like amongst the candidates on the ballot. As this must be submitted as a formal resolution submitted by mail, this is due to HCAD no later than December 16th. Otherwise, our vote will not be considered during the upcoming election. With that, I would answer any questions that you might have.
Are there any questions, trustees? Trustee Wilson?
Do we have a procedure for allocating those votes? This is new. I don't imagine we do have a procedure, and I wonder if we should discuss because I doubt that all 9 of us are going to vote for one person.
I can answer that question. As the chair will explain when the presentation's completed, we'll need to take 2 separate votes on this. The first is a vote to cast as to how the board wants to cast the votes. The chair will call for any motion that makes a recommendation for the allocation of votes and which candidates those votes are for. Once the board has approved an allocation, then the board will take a second vote to approve the final resolution that will be sent to the county. So we may have to go through that process a couple of times. If there's a motion and it doesn't receive 5 votes, then the chair will call for another motion.
You can't split the votes. Say if all 9 of us wanted to vote for one, there's 8. Could you split 1/9 of 100 and put it on each one?
You can, in your motion, say you want to allocate X number of votes to this candidate and X number of votes to another candidate, if we want to split it between 2 candidates.
So
Trustee Tamez?
it sounds like what you're suggesting, because the first vote is supposed to be how you want to allocate, so that the first motion has to be the intent as far as allocation. And so if Trustee Wilson so desired, he could say, I move that we proportionally allocate 8 different votes.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. And if that motion doesn't receive 5 votes, then we can consider another allocation.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a recommendation that we allocate our votes to Martina Lemon Dixon for consideration.
I'll second it.
And so I want to make sure we're clear. Trustee Tamez, was that your motion?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion then was for all votes to be allocated to that candidate? Okay.
Yes.
Just for clarification, if we vote on that motion and it's approved, is there a second vote to be taken still?
Yes, the second vote will be to approve the final resolution.
Got it.
That will include the recommendation as it's approved by the board.
Got it.
Okay, now, if another trustee decides they want to allocate the votes to someone else, we wait to make sure that first motion doesn't, well, it passes or fails, is that
Right.
correct?
We have to, since there's been a motion and a second, we have to take action on that motion and second before another can be made, unless somebody wants to amend.
Please, just to say, Martina Lemon-Dixon is a trustee in Humboldt ISD since 2021. So,
Madam Chair, I just have a comment. I just want to say how deeply, deeply disappointing it is that in a county with 44% of the Latino population, not one of these board members is Latino. We're not going to be able to change it because we don't have enough votes to really do anything. We have 100 votes. The city, the county, and HISD are the ones that really control a lot of those positions. Our votes are just small compared to those. So I encourage anybody from those institutions who's listening. I mean, we make up 44% of this community, and to have not one seat of this board, so many organizations in this city, in this county are losing so many important Latino leaders. And I think it's really a shame that we don't have representation. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other comments? So I think at this point, we'll move to cast our vote.
The vote is on the motion to allocate all 100 of the college's votes to Ms. Dixon.
Yes.
There would need to be 5 votes in favor.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 7-2.
We'll now vote. We've voted to cast our votes. Now we have to vote on the resolution.
So we'll need so we'll need a motion, a motion to approve the resolution.
Okay, I'll move to approve the resolution as stated.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and second.
Can I get the second again? I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay, received. We're now ready to vote?
Yes, we're now ready to vote.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve item B, expansion of a utility easement to the West Chase Management District?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Madam Chair.
It has been moved and second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented as a recommendation to authorize the Chancellor to negotiate and execute an expansion of the existing West Chase Management District utility easement to a pedestrian easement for improvements to the walking lanes along Meadow Glen Lane. And so with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. McCracken, Interim Vice Chancellor of Facilities, and Dr. Nicole Montgomery, Interim General Counsel, to come to the podium, provide an overview, and respond to questions.
Thank you, Chancellor. Trustees, I'm going to walk through this. So this is West Chase Management District, which surrounds the Hayes Road campus, A-Leaf Hayes, 2811 Hayes Road. And essentially, we have an easement that already exists along Meadow Glen Lane. It's a 10-foot wide easement where there's a water line underneath. On the other side of the street is the sewage line. This is to amend that easement to not include not only the utility, but to also allow them to put on the surface bike pathway, a pedestrian pathway, aka a sidewalk, and some plantings that are more decorative, along with an upgraded bus stop and additional street lighting. The cost to us of this is nothing. We just need to allow them to do the work. These images are from West Chase District, and I apologize in advance. They are not taken from directly overhead, so it makes things appear a little bit closer to the street than they actually are. But what you have is the blue is the existing easement. The yellow dotted line is from the original plat, which is a setback for landscaping. That is not changing. The size of the easement is not changing. We're just essentially giving them permission to take it from looking like this to with the nice purple flowers, et cetera. But essentially what they're doing is they're adding some more decorative trees, the sidewalk and the bike path as well. This is another view, and then at the end it looks like that. And so essentially what it's doing for us is it's improving the sidewalk, it's improving the aesthetic along the back side of A-Leaf Hayes campus. And then while they do the work, they do have to take our fencing down to do the work, and then they have to put the fencing back up to match it up. And with that, I will answer any questions.
Madam Chair. Mr. McCracken, I encourage you to bring as many free improvements to our campus as you want. You are always welcome to the podium to present things like this. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sean.
Yeah, just wanted to confirm, I feel your comment about the angle maybe was directed at one of my questions.
Yes.
On slide 3, it looks like the landscape setback kind of overlaps the building. Is that just a trick of the eye?
It is, because we're not on this slide where it looks like it's cutting off the corner of the building on the bottom right, and then almost on the bottom left where it's taking out part of the roof. We actually measured that today. It's 40 and a half feet from the street, and that setback is 30 and a half. And so it's just a trick of the eye because you're askance.
Excellent. Thank you. Good use of askance, by the way.
Trustee Wilson.
There's no cost to the college.
Correct.
That's right.
That's correct.
There's not going to be any interruption. You said they're going to take the fence down and put it back up. But
Yeah, so they have to do some coordination, right? Because you see on the right-hand side of this image, that's an access road that goes kind of along the side, and that goes back kind of all the way to the front. So that runs along beside the parking garage, alongside the building. So we're going to have to do some coordination just in terms of the timing of the work and that kind of thing, but there's no cost to us.
that's a service entrance now. It's not a student or a faculty entrance, is it?
No, some people use that entrance because you can come out of the parking garage on that side, and you can either come out kind of by the West Houston Institute, or you can come down that side.
Thank you.
Any other comments, trustees?
Would it be askance to ask Trustee Wilson to go on a bike ride with me down this path when they're done?
Let's pass on the bike ride. I'll hobble along with you, walk side by side.
Okay, if there are no further questions, we will now vote on item B. Thank you.
Dr. Linton Geary? Okay, just received.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0.
Is there a motion to approve item C, police radios and support maintenance, cooperative contract award? Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved in second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented as a recommendation to authorize the Chancellor to execute a cooperative contract with Motorola Solutions Incorporated under the Houston-Galveston Area Council contract to provide police radios and support maintenance services. So with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Dr. Benfield, Interim Executive Director of Procurement, and Mr. McCracken, Interim Vice Chancellor of Facilities and Police and Security, to provide an overview and respond to questions. Thank you. Dr. Benfield.
Thank you, Chancellor and Board. Overall, this is a life safety issue. We're going to provide police radios and modernize the equipment. The existing equipment is obsolete and will not be supported through next year. Therefore, it's mandatory that we do this, and we recognize in light of 9/11 findings in other areas where the communications compatibility is essential. This will be procured through a cooperative contract because this vehicle will offer additional discounts. So the Houston-Galveston Area Council actually negotiated existing discounts through the aggregation method that we've spoken about before, and then we have additional negotiated discounts through the procurement operations team.
Questions, trustees? No questions. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We will now vote on item C.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 9-0.
There a motion to approve item D, personnel agenda, i.e.
moved.
faculty?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you again, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented for recommendations of approval of the personnel agenda for November 2024. So with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. Rodney Nathan, Interim Vice Chancellor of Talent Engagement and Chief Human Resources Officer, to come to the podium to address the questions. Mr. Nathan.
Thank you, Chancellor. Madam Chair, trustees, you have before you for your approval contracts for 3 full-time faculty members for hire. I always like to point out that the majority of these are adjuncts who are moving into a full-time position with us.
Great.
I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have a comment. I'm happy that there are adjuncts moving into full-time positions. I'm very happy about that, so thank you, because our adjuncts work very hard for very many years and are often not considered for full-time employment, so this is very good. Thank you.
I agree with that. I share that. Any other comments?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Nathan. Thank you for your service. I wanted to ask, I know we get these updates regularly about new hires, and just an observation, I don't know that we've seen many of these lately, so where are we in terms of staff levels relative to need and some of the things that we talked about from a budgetary standpoint as we approved and adopted the budget for FY 24-25? There were some very specific things that were discussed at the time. So where are we generally?
So thank you for the question. So one of the things we have in place is we have the ability to move folks into a temporary full-time assignment that allows us to have faculty. And again, the majority of those who do that, over 80%, are usually our current adjuncts, to take care of our needs while we're still maybe going through the recruiting process. Plus, we have folks who might retire during the year, and so that causes a need for us to replace on a full-time basis. So while you may not see a lot throughout the year, our heavy times are always going to be going into August and going into January, and then there will be pieces throughout as needed.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Well, again, thank you. We really...
Yeah, plus, since the board voted for the 7% increase, nobody wants to leave now. Stay.
That might have a little bit to do with it, yes.
A lot. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we will now vote.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0.
There a motion to approve item E, Senate Bill 18, report submission?
Second.
There a second? It has been moved and second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is a recommendation to the board to authorize the board chair and chancellor to, or designate, to support a Senate Bill 18 report to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board
regarding tenure for faculty. So with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Dr. Montgomery, Interim General Counsel, to come to the podium to provide an overview and respond to questions.
Thank you, Chancellor. Madam Chair, Trustees, we are seeking your authorization to submit a report to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board regarding Senate Bill 18, which is also codified as Texas Education Code 51.942G. This new law is regarding policies of tenure and employment of faculty at the college. Specifically, after our own internal research and consultation with TASB, as well as external partners and community colleges, which TASB advised us that SB 18 did not apply to community colleges based on their communications with the coordinating board. Further, TASB did not promulgate any applicable policies to address the new law and the recent policy updates. However, the coordinating board would like the community colleges to have a report on file indicating that we do not have tenure at our institution and thus are in compliance with Senate Bill 18. The board chair is listed to sign the report, and the practice of the college is to obtain authorization from the board for this task. In your packet is the report we intend to file that will demonstrate that HCC does not currently offer tenure to its faculty. I'm here to answer any questions along with Dr. Mahalik and Dr. Trinity. Are there any questions?
Questions, trustees? Trustee Laredo?
So is there any other community colleges that fall under the same?
Yes. I would prefer not to mention them in open session just because it's not we didn't get their permission to do that, but there are.
As I know, I've always had that question about why that group rules us when they're more of the public schools versus colleges. And so we're always having to do it their way and they don't do it our way. So I think it's at some point we need to form our own group so that the community colleges can be consistent with each other, and because we know what we need, and this tenure part is a big one.
Agreed.
So just FYI. Thank you.
Okay, we will now vote on item E. Thank you.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 9-0.
Okay, we will now, the board will now adjourn to close our executive session under the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.076 of the Open Meetings Act as stated in the notice of the meeting. Should any final action, vote, or decision be required in the opinion of the board, any matter considered in closed session, such final action, vote, or decision shall be taken up in the open meeting or subsequent public meeting of the board upon notice thereof. The meeting is hereby adjourned to executive session at
5:38 p.m.
So the staff members are now dismissed for the day.
So moved.
Second.
1 second. Who's the first and second? I'm sorry.
First,
Okay,
and trustee Siobhan.
I can do it orally. You don't have to log me in.
Receive.
Me either.
We will now vote on item F, termination agreement with Challenger Center for Space Scientific Education as discussed in closed session.
Sharon, it's a yes for me.
Okay. Receive.
Sharon, that's a yes for me.
Received.
No, I'm like, who is that?
We're going to close the voting. The motion passed with a vote of 7-0.
Adjourned at
6:51 p.m.
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.